Today on Suncoast View, Sarasota gives the green light to medical marijuana dispensaries in the city. We'll discuss.
An award-winning landscape photographer from Tampa Bay stops by to show us how his focus on water shapes his work.
And what do a rhinoceros, a drag queen, and the Oslo have in common? It's a comedic look at a classic play, and we have a preview. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show, and welcome back to actor Matt McGee. Happy to have you with us.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
A lot of fun planned today. And Linda, welcome back to you. I know you've been under the weather. We missed you.
Thank you. Yes, I have bronchitis, so if suddenly my voice disappears, I have no control.
Did you rest like you were supposed to?
Oh, I watched ID Discovery, one murder after another after another for 12 straight hours. I went to sleep. It was so boring. So I've seen
murders are boring?
She relaxes.
I could tell you what's going to happen. So I'm ready to go back to work.
Because you've already seen them all.
I've seen them all. I'm through.
I see a reboot of Murder, She Wrote with Linda Carson.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That would be.
Come on, Netflix.
That would have been me.
Yeah.
Well, you did miss a fun day yesterday, and much against my willingness, we're going to recap it for you so you can see what you did not see in person.
Because I was watching Murder.
We gave pole fitness a try. Yes, that is me on a pole. My children and husband were mortified, but I have to tell you, pole fitness is serious business, because that is Kelly Jaco, who is one of the most in shape and strong people I know. And it is hard work, as you see there, to hold yourself up with your upper body while your lower body is maneuvering. This is serious strength training, grace training. I give these girls a lot of credit. I was completely intimidated and very glad I gave it a try.
Oh.
Yes, and remember we had talked about that it's been, it's considered an international sport now.
Yes.
It's recognized. Now, I will say, and we often joke that, there's a whole other show that happens in between commercials. I did practice another move. Stephanie did this beautiful turn down the...
Oh, I want to see.
Oh, you won't see, because there was an unfortunate contact with the pole, and I'm just going to leave that right there, but there was a little bit of pain involved.
No, I'm going to go a step further. It's harder for boys to work the pole than girls.
Oh.
That is what we learned in the practice session.
Oh, yeah.
So we had to carefully choose who did what. Matt's
well, we're glad you're back
I
today,
took the graceful move, Stephanie took the strength. Yeah.
What a visual.
Yeah, there was a lot of visual. The before
for
show was very amusing.
I guess that will become a permanent part of our show every day.
You know, I'm very glad we gave it a try.
What a great workout.
And I completely understand the confidence involved by doing it, because I don't necessarily feel like a sexy pole fitness girl most of the time, and yet you do feel it when you do that.
I can't imagine.
And they were so
my
supportive. They really were supportive, and I know
girls.
that's true of the community that takes those fitness classes. They're really all rooting for each other. It was nice.
Yeah,
supportive to me would be holding me up.
well, they'll do that if
my
you need
hands
it,
up.
because we did need that. So something to try if you're looking to spice up your workout. Really very much worth trying it out. Okay, we've got our friend Popey back in the kitchen today from Popey's Place. Tell us what we're making today.
Today we're making lucumades for the Greek festival this year.
The Greek
Glendy, yes.
Festival weekend.
Starting today.
Okay.
11 o'clock.
And I know you are busy.
Busy. I'm there since 5 o'clock this morning.
I can't wait to hear about what you and all the ladies have been making,
Yes.
and we will learn how to make some of the signature Greek dishes with you. So something to look forward to. As if we weren't going to eat for the next week straight anyway with the Greek festival, it is also time to consider Valentine's Day. This is my kind of bouquet.
Wow.
I am not a fresh flowers girl, but if you give me a bouquet of donuts, I will be your forever Valentine. This is brought to us by 50 Donut Company. Our friend Christine Nordstrom put together this donut bouquet. And I understand you're not supposed to smell them.
It smells amazing.
I'm sure.
It comes in a half dozen
Why,
or
Joey, you
a
shouldn't.
dozen. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
It looks beautiful. Don't put it over here, though. That's my kind of
may
floral
smell
arrangement.
Exactly. That is the way to all of our hearts. So something to think about for Valentine's Day other than traditional flowers. We like donut flowers. And I understand orders for those need to be in by the 12th, which is Monday. So you want to get your orders in. That's at 50 Donut Company. What a great idea, and what a gorgeous display.
It is.
That's
You
much.
can send that to me.
Yes, we're going to have trouble not touching those flowers as we go throughout the next 10 minutes. It is time for our first hot topic, and medical marijuana dispensaries will now open in the city of Sarasota. After unanimous city commission vote and no voiced public opposition, 20 existing dispensaries can begin selling cannabis. Those with medical marijuana prescriptions will be able to utilize them immediately. Only medical marijuana in the form of vapors, oils, and edibles will be dispensed, and only in zoned areas controlled by the city. However, downtown is one of them. Pretty much every area ends up included that is commercial, with the exception of St. Armand's, which is deemed tourist.
That's interesting.
I
thought that
thought
was
this was
interesting.
medical.
It is medical. You have to have a prescription.
Well, why don't other drugs that are very powerful, why don't we have dispensaries all over for them?
Well, that is certainly being discussed when it comes time to opioids and things like that. But that is how they're going to handle medical marijuana. And after watching Venice get approved, and I believe St. Pete, are they dispensing in the city now, approved, I thought it was a very well-voiced comment from our community, especially the disabled and people who are needing this for pain reasons, saying, I can't travel to Venice, I can't travel to St. Petersburg, my doctor has prescribed this, the state passed the law, let's go already.
Absolutely.
So Sarasota's in.
And we know a lot of people that you know, they've had to travel to other states to get medical marijuana.
It's actually a medical need.
Yes, and in
I totally
addition to
believe
the
that.
medical bills they have, and then the travel, and then to have to get it, sort of to not have to put the whole travel aspect be a part of it, I think is great.
I still think there are a lot of people that are going for this that don't need it medically.
Oh, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
They're going to sell a lot of dokays after those dispensaries open up.
Funny you should mention that. You're not the first person to have this thought. This is my favorite entrepreneurial girl of the year. So one enterprising young girl did decide to use the dispensaries to her business advantage, and she's a Girl Scout. A Girl Scout set up outside of a California marijuana dispensary last week and sold over 300 boxes of cookies in just 6 hours. Just saying. Now, some are saying that this is against the Girl Scout rules, but the Girl Scouts say this isn't exactly a cut and dried situation. It's one they've actually never pondered. The store itself, meaning the marijuana dispensary, is not on the approved sales list, go figure. But Girl Scouts are allowed to sell cookies from a rolling cart. So she rolled herself
Back and forth, back and forth.
I mean, we learned that the Girl Scouts are really trying to instill more business and science, technology, everything. But when you think this is a brilliant business mind, this girl found supply and demand. I mean, she found a target audience.
Who's going to say no
Linda's
to a
not
Girl
sold.
Scout?
This still bothers me. This still bothers me. I would not like my little girl there.
I would agree with that.
Even
part
if it
of
was another medication. You know, I mean, people that are using medications, you don't want to put little kids around. Even when I was on medication yesterday, you would not have wanted a small child around.
Well, it does actually get a little worse because in California they just approved recreational. So that wasn't even a medical dispensary. That was whatever you need.
But I think there's still this perception that at a medical dispensary you have people in tie-dye shirts and long hair walking
Right.
up, as opposed to people that are going to get treatment. So it could be you or me. It could be anyone.
Well, right. Matt, what have you seen in St. Pete? I mean, are you aware of where they are, and has it...
I have no idea about dispensaries
Well,
or
I'm
anything
just
like
asking.
that. No. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, my doctor offers it now. She can actually do it from her office, and she made a joke to me that to this day people are still calling her about it, but they whisper when they leave the message, and she
Right.
laughs because it is legal. But yeah, I mean, people are into it, and if my doctor's doing it, and she's legitimate and terrific, and really believes in the kind of healing powers that it has, or at least the way it can help people increase their appetite and dull pain and all that sort of thing, I think you're going to see a lot it's I think
And you're
it's a
not
good
seeing
thing.
a line of degenerates down the street in front of the
Absolutely not.
doctor's office.
Absolutely not.
And
No
I know
way.
people that have come from other states say that, you know, it's not necessarily that they go and get mind-altering strains of medical marijuana. Some
Right.
are
They're
good.
oils
There are no
and-
feeling.
You
They
may
have no
be
feeling.
disappointed.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what
You
you're
know,
looking for.
I've been to one in Oregon, and it was very well run, and you know there was a limit on how much you could buy. I'm not saying I bought any.
But you have friends that did.
But I did, absolutely. But I'll tell you, it's a business, and it's run
absolutely.
very well, and it almost has like a health clinic feel as well. So they're very serious about it and very professional.
All right, but Girl Scout cookies probably should not be sold in front of them. Seems to be the consensus.
That is true.
All right, well, winter is coming to the galaxy far, far away. HBO's Game of Thrones showrunners Weiss and Benioff will write a new series of Star Wars movies for Disney. So there are at least 7 announced Star Wars movies yet to release, including this May's Solo, plus a Star Wars TV series on Disney's streaming service. What do you think, Matt? I know you're a big Star Wars guy.
I really am. I love all the Star Wars movies. I wasn't a huge fan of The Last Jedi. I'm sure, you know, you might get some letters maybe about that, but some people really loved it. A lot of people didn't. I think Rian Johnson, the director, he wrote and directed it, took a lot of chances, wanted to reshape some things in the canon. I think it's all great. I'm glad he was able to kind of have his vision. I think these guys, the people who do Game of Thrones, you know, season after season, all the intrigue and the drama and the battles and all the creatures, these guys are perfectly set up to continue the Star Wars saga.
Can
and I
we
think they'll
keep
do a great
the
job.
focus, though? Are people burning out?
Well, my fear always was the more movies you have, the more opportunity you have to have a clunker. I mean, the truth of it is, you know, the original trilogy for me still stands up, you know, all three of them, especially The Empire Strikes Back. But I think the prequels a lot of people don't like as much, and I think, again, you're adding 3 more movies. Then there's 6. Now there's going to be 9. Now there's going to be 7 more. A ton of movies means they're spreading themselves thin in terms of artistic output. So who knows? You might have some really bad Star Wars movies, and I think that will hurt the brand.
Yeah, that's what you have to be careful of. Well, it'll be nice to see more generations getting interested, though. So
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see if that
Those
keeps
guys
happening.
are terrific. So.
Well, here's some magic for all you muggles. Forget the Disney Cruise Line. You can head to Hogwarts on a Harry Potter river cruise. You know this is going to be popular. This summer, Harry Potter fans can board the Magna Carta barge for a week-long river cruise to places that inspired or have been inspired by author J.K. Rowling. You'll board in London and sail to places, and you'll recognize these names if you're a book fan: Virginia Water, Pickett Post Close, and Christchurch College at Oxford University. You'll also get to visit Warner Brothers Studios and see the iconic props, costumes, and sets from the 8-film series. Now, people who are into this cannot get enough.
Wow.
So I do not hesitate to think that this is going to be a big appeal.
I went to Harry Potter World in Universal in Orlando, and I felt almost bad because I'm not that into the books or the movies, but it was beautiful, and I thought, wow, if I really was into this, I would love this.
Yeah,
and I know you're a fan. You're a Harry Potter fan.
I love all of it. I mean, people always ask, you know, all of these franchises, I love them because they're a bit of an escape. And now they're able to more fully incorporate vacation into the types of things that you love to watch, Star Wars cruises and Harry Potter World, and you can go cruise with Harry Potter, whatever that means. But you know, truthfully, I think they're just making money, and I think it's a great thing.
Oh yeah, if you're having fun.
And again, furthering the brand, because there's a whole
Absolutely.
other generation that's going to need to read it. So that's great. Cool. All right, well, I certainly know it is tough to let go when you are the mom of a teenager. So yesterday, Wednesday, was National Signing Day, and football player Jacob Copeland had 3 hats in front of him: Tennessee, Alabama, and Florida. So he picks Florida, but apparently it was a surprise to Mom, who had been wearing Tennessee and Alabama gear. And check this out. She got up and left.
Oh.
She couldn't handle it and walked out on her son's big moment. Jacob had to address it. He said, all right, I have to go with my heart, and my heart is a Gator. I couldn't go with my mom. There goes Mom. Like, whoa, this was not supposed to happen. That is not the shirt or hat I'm wearing. Now, Mom did get herself together and came back, but her son dished out the surprise.
This is about her son, not
That's
her.
Right.
She should be cheering him on no matter what he chooses for his life, not what she wants. I saw this a lot in football when we were in football. Families, it got to be all about them using the players. So sorry, Mom, but I think that was a really wrong thing to do.
She probably should have sucked it up to sit there, but maybe she didn't figure she could keep the poker face and didn't want to ruin his moment.
She
Leaving
should.
what ruined his moment.
I agree.
Linda, she should do the right thing and support him, and then just guilt him for the next 4 years.
right.
Yeah,
That's
like
the
we all
American.
do.
Yes, that's
like
what
all mothers
families do.
40 years from now, she could break out in tears because he didn't choose her college, her team. Yes.
That's very funny. Well, I'm just happy for him and proud of him, actually, for going with his heart.
And what she did, now we all know him. I
That's
mean,
right, Jacob
you
Copeland.
sometimes it's so funny now. I think everything is manufactured, and that's terrible. But I mean, now we know exactly who he is.
You know what? He
team he's
got
on,
he got more ESPN play yesterday than any other
and
star.
that's a viral video. It's
That
on
is.
everything right now.
Thing, yes. And we'll be cheering for him that he made the right
That's
choice.
right, we
Right.
will, especially the Gators. All right, we're going to check in with our happy hour forecast. And when we come back, we're going to talk to a Suncoast filmmaker all about how to make a movie right here.
Hi, I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan here at the Plantation Community Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic, and it is beautiful right now. Partly cloudy skies, temperatures into the upper 70s. We have a nice breeze moving in, and it looks to stay that way too through this evening. Generally fair skies, no problems as far as our weather goes. Currently, temperatures in the upper 70s under mostly sunny skies. The dew point temperature at 67 right now, and we are looking at a wind out of the northwest at 12. The pressure is still high at 30-17, and that continues to stay steady. A frontal boundary just to our north is fading away. There's some clouds to the north, but really not much going on here. Fair weather cumulus clouds going on, a lot of golf going on, raising money for great charities here along the Suncoast. And as far as we're concerned, we don't expect any rainfall from this front. We are anticipating temperatures to stay warm overnight. Lows will be down into the lower 60s. There's a major winter storm going on off into the north right now through the Great Lakes. We'll have more on that obviously coming up at 5, and we'll have a look at our weekend weather today at 5. See you then.
At one point or another, many of us have heard a story and thought, wow, that would make a great movie. Sarasota native Catherine Parks acted on that instinct, so she wrote, produced, and starred in her own short film called 50 Words. And she's here to tell us what the whole process was like and how one does that. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you so much, Linda.
So what was the idea that set all this off?
Well, I knew I wanted to write a screenplay, and I am very involved in the musical theater and the arts world in Sarasota. So I was actually speaking with a friend, Jolie, and she was getting married, and she asked me to speak at their wedding. And so we got together, me and her husband, or her fiance at the time, and she shared their love story. And essentially, they met online, and they basically talked my ear off for like an hour about their love story. So it just really got me in the zone of, okay, how do people meet and fall in love? And so afterwards, I was writing out the speech for their wedding, and I thought, wow, I'm happily married to my husband, Jonathan Parks. But if I weren't, how could I creatively meet a man in this town? And I thought, well, the next show I do, I could write my bio in the program as a personal ad, seeking my perfect match from the audience. And I giggled a little bit at that, and I was like, you know what? That might make a great idea for a romantic comedy.
So that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Well, we have a preview. Let's take a look.
Lily Green, you're that girl desperately looking for love.
Insecure, self-centered actress seeks tall, dark, and handsome.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I would love to get to know the real you.
Well, sometimes you just have to follow your heart. You are so oblivious.
Lily, give me your bio. How many words?
Oh, I love it.
What fun.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, but you're an actress.
Yes.
Okay, you majored in musical theater.
Yes.
But how did you write a screenplay?
Well, that's a great question. I'm also a writer. I do a lot of writing at Michael Saunders and Company for blog and for video. And my mother's a writer. My dad's a creative. He's a composer, a pianist. And so for me to write something wasn't really that foreign a concept. I just needed to figure out, okay, what's the format for a screenplay?
Right, I was going to say.
How do you find this fancy font? And like
Now, your parents contributed music, right?
Yeah, so I said it at the premiere of a new musical, and I knew I was not we weren't gonna do entire scenes, but I would need little pieces of music here.
Oh,
and
in
there.
the story.
In the
there's music.
story,
Oh,
yeah.
perfect.
So I just kind of called my mom, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, I need a song that is about X and sounds like this." And she was like, "Well, let me look from my list of what you might want."
Oh,
and it was great.
what a mom.
And I know, and she even rewrote some lyrics for me. So there is a little touch of my parents in this as well.
There's a little touch of a lot of people from Sarasota.
Yes.
How did you come up with actors? You used a lot of local people,
We
right?
used only local people, yeah. Well, let me start by saying the director was Mark Palmer, who is a local filmmaker, and he's very phenomenal, and I could not have done this without him. And when I wrote this screenplay, I really thought of key people for the different parts, and I was thrilled that I actually got them. And I know a lot of people from the musical theater world. I starred in a show with Charles Logan. I starred in one with Craig Weiskircher, and they were both two of my lead actors. And I was able to sort of write these parts around around who how well I thought they could do, and they were amazing.
But that's got to be a challenge around here, getting everybody together at a certain time.
Oh my gosh, it was one of our biggest challenges. We shot for 13 days, and everyone has full-time jobs, everyone has children, everyone is in shows, so to find time when we could all get together to do this, it was very challenging. But and then also businesses that we filmed at. We filmed at the Players Center for Performing Arts. We filmed at the Florida Studio Theater, in the Improv, the
So
Bound
we'll
Lab.
recognize a lot of the locations, including
absolutely.
the people in the location.
Absolutely.
Oh, what fun. Now, of course, you have a premiere tonight, but it's all sold out.
It is
which
all
shows
sold out.
it is going to be a great success. What is your hope for this film?
Well, my hope is that the film will go around to some of the different festivals in the nation, and it'll draw attention to Sarasota and the arts culture here and the talent here, because I think it's amazing, and I really want to promote that to the rest of the world. And then hopefully this will bring more in the future.
And you can write more and more. Well, this sounds so fun. And I'm so glad we've got the facilities,
Yes.
the actors, the musicians, the facilities right here in Sarasota.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't wait to see this. You can find out when you can see it. Follow it on Facebook. 50 words is what you need to look for. And coming up next, McCurdy's comedy headliner will join us.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to savethefood.com.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Everyone likes the 2018 Honda Civic for $169 a month. You made Civic the best-selling compact car in America. You'll like Civic's 5-star safety ratings and that KBB.com named Civic a best buy and the most awarded car. Get the 2018 Civic at a payment you'll love. $169 a month today at your local Honda dealer.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
This week's McCurdy's comedy headliner has a lot going on, so much so that he has been described as having multiple character disorder. We'll see who he brought with him today. Welcome back to John DeCrosta.
Oh, thank you very much. That actually is that's the title of my CD, recorded right at McCurdy's Comedy Theater. Oh, wow. Because I do so many different characters and stuff, because I meet everybody. I'm in different countries every week. I'm on cruise ships and comedy clubs and colleges, and I was with Les when we recorded my CD at the comedy club, And I said, what am I going to title this CD? And he's like, multiple character disorder. He goes, you have a disease, and it's incurable, and when they cure it, then you can't work here anymore.
You sound just like him.
I love it.
That's great. So you're back in Florida. You just got back from a cruise.
Yeah, I've done actually 357 cruises in the last 7 years.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
And it is a plethora. It's like a joke corral, the cruise ships. People come up to me and ask me so many stupid questions every day. It's amazing
What's
that
your
these
favorite?
people, well, we have to wear a name tag.
Right.
And mine says John, and it says your position on the ship. It says comedian. Guy gets in the elevator with me. He looks at my tag. He reads it. I see him reading it. He's one of them lip readers. He was like, and then he looks me in the face. He says, "You the comedian?" I'm like, "No, I'm the Canadian." They misspelled it at the name tag office. But I think stupidity is wonderful for me. One lady comes out to me, because it gives me material I don't have to write. One lady says to me, "This must be so exciting, working on the ships. You get to see all the states." I said, "Yeah, it's pretty fun seeing all the states." She says, "What's your favorite state you like to visit with the ships?" I said, Colorado cruise. That's a beautiful cruise. I said, "You got to book it early, though, because people are dying to cruise Colorado." She says, "Oh, I didn't even realize they went up that high." I'm like, "Are we seriously continuing this conversation?" I said, "They don't go on the, up there in the winter time. That's strictly a summertime cruise." She says, "Oh, why don't they go up there in the winter?" I said, "'Cause the Nile River is frozen in the winter. You got to fight stupid with stupid." I get on the elevator, deck 5. I press 10. I'm the only one in the elevator. I get in the elevator, deck 5. The elevator goes up to 6. The doors open. Lady asks me, "Are you going up to 8?" I said, "No, I'm going up to 10. She turns to her husband and says, "We're going to have to wait for the next one." These are real people. I'm not making any of this stuff up.
And you don't have to.
No. It just keeps coming. I'm like a stupid magnet.
Do you get pressure a lot because when they see like the sign that you're a comedian, like do people always say, "Tell me a joke," or "I have a joke for you"?
I get a lot. I get a lot of both, probably. I get a lot of both, and you just kind of. That's great.
Is it different performing for people while they're on vacation?
Yes. You know, somebody just asked me that 2 days ago. In fact, to get to McCurdy's, I went from Roatan to El Salvador to Miami to Tampa, and I drove down to Sarasota.
Wow.
That's what I do for you people. And somebody in Roatan 2 nights ago asked me, "How is it different?" And I said, they're lovely because they're on vacation. It's kind of like a Las Vegas crowd.
Right.
People are ready to let their hair down for anywhere from 4 to 7 days. It's a blast.
They're ready to laugh and be in a good mood. And
Absolutely.
now you can laugh with John as well. He is at McCurdy's Comedy Theater through February 11th. For times and tickets, go to the McCurdy's website at mccurdyscomedy.com. Coming up next, the Oslo brings a comedic look at a classic theme with their new play. We'll have a preview.
Want to know a secret? If you're looking for the best selection of area rugs at an unbelievable price, the only place you need to look is Rugs is Art. I know what you're thinking. Expensive, right? Wrong. Rugs is Art has the largest selection of area rugs on the west coast of Florida in a variety of styles, with 8x11 area rugs starting at $199. Largest selection, personalized service, and unbelievably low prices. You'll find it all at Rugs is Art.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
It's time to take a road trip.
Burn rubber for Birmingham, where you can feed your need for speed at Barber Motorsports Park and Museum. Now this gets my motor running. Meet Iron Men. Hey there, big guy. And make a date with your 9-iron. Feed the animals at the zoo and the birds. Then enjoy the award-winning restaurant scene. Alabama has a road trip with your name on it.
Which one you gonna take?
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live. I live. She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you.
And for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We're going to check back in with Popey and learn more about the Greek festival coming up this weekend. Popey, tell us about the different types of food at the festival.
We have all kind of Greek food. Everything is fresh, homemade, make it daily. We prepare them all month, you know, but we take care of them, cook them fresh every day. So we have moussaka, pasticcio, shish kebab, lamb shanks, appetizers, a lot of food.
A lot of food and music and dancing and crafts for the kids. You are going to want to go to the St. Barbara Greek Festival. It starts today, Thursday, February 8th, and runs through Sunday. And we're going to learn more about the food when we join you in the kitchen. See you in a little bit. Joey?
The Oslo Rep's newest play is definitely different. It is a social satire similar to a Saturday Night Live skit, except it addresses 1930s themes of fascism and Nazism. You know, just a few light topics? Yeah. Not necessarily. But the Oslo Rep's rendition of Rhinoceros is a comedy. And our guest host and one of our favorite actors, Matthew McGee, is part of the cast. That's right. All right, so Matthew, tell us a little bit. That's kind of a strange slew of descriptions for this show. Tell us about the plot of Rhinoceros.
Absolutely. You know, the show begins with 2 friends who meet in a cafe, played by David Breitbarth and Matt DeCaro, and they're just discussing life and the way one work and their loves and all those sort of things 2 people at a cafe would talk about, when suddenly they are interrupted by a rhinoceros running across the street. And that begins a whole sort of an experience for the lead character played by David Breitbarth, Berenger, who has to experience what it's like for everyone in this small town in the late 1940s, this small European town where everyone around him becomes a rhinoceros. Now, we had a really marvelous opportunity to learn about the playwright, Eugene Ionesco, and we learned that this is a very personal story for him because he, during that time, got to see friends, his friends, his loved ones, even his father become fascists or start to believe in sort of a fascist political view, and he watched it happening around him and he would not capitulate. In many ways, Berenger is really the playwright telling that sort of story. And so it is a kind of a cautionary tale of what it looks like when any sort of herd mentality can take over society. I often think of it like it could mean a lot to many different people. It could be fascism. Some people could say, oh, it's socialism or any sort of ism. Some people could watch it and be like, oh, it's the Kardashians. Not really the Kardashians, but you know what I mean. Sure. Celebrity culture teaches us what we need to like and what we need to enjoy, and we all become followers, and we all get stuck with these phones and
social
things.
Social media culture.
So it's a classic for sure, and I know a lot of people say, well, I don't really like to go to something that's too political or still too heavy, but this production production is not that. In fact, you get to play a couple different characters in a few different ways. Tell us how you work in, and there's music.
Absolutely. You know, Frank Galati, this is a new production directed and, you know, staged by Frank Galati, which isn't that amazing? A Tony Award
Frank
winner,
Galati, yes.
living here in Sarasota, and being able to direct a show at the Oslo Rep. It's a really terrific
But
thing.
this is you.
That's
so
me at the start of the show.
We've seen you in drag on our show before, but I love with this plot that your music and your drag is worked into the show.
Yeah, absolutely. In this show, I play a woman, a man, and a rhinoceros. And if that's not range or award-winning Jay Handelman, I don't know what is. But no, quite frankly, you get to see this show in a way that teaches you something, but on the way, you experience many different emotions. It starts off funny, light, irrepressible, you know, conversations about humanity, life, things we can all relate to. And then the show becomes poignant, watching friends and loved ones grow apart because of whatever this is that's happening, ultimately to thought-provoking in the last half of the show, where you're like, oh God, this can happen anywhere. Is this happening now? Has it happened before? And I feel like I could sense that. We had our first preview last night. I could sense this sort of light feel from the audience, laughter, applause for the music.
Oh, yes.
Because I do get to sing these wonderful Edith Piaf songs.
Oh, wow.
Applause for the music, and then laughter for things that they all related to. And then almost a silence over the crowd when they start to realize that Behringer is the only one left, and everyone is a rhinoceros.
I love when Oslo Rep decides to do a classic show. They will usually try to do make it different some ways to make a reason. So the rhinoceros, as I know plays a very large role in the show. So we thought, since you're here and the show is fun-hearted and there's a lot of comedy, we would play a little game with you that would be themed around different animals. So here's what we're going to do. Okay. We are going to play a sound of an animal for you, and then you all have to guess what animal it is based on the sound. So name that animal.
Name the animal.
So let's hear the first one.
Monkeys.
Linda says monkeys. Birds, if you want to get specific.
Maybe seagulls.
Seagulls, yes. Matthew named it. Seagulls. Your ear for animals must have increased during the rehearsal process.
Listen, I play a rhinoceros. You can't
All
get...
right, let's hear the next one.
Excuse me.
Goats.
Yeah, well, Linda always hears goats, but
Yeah.
that's you just
I know why.
making sure you don't get attacked.
Let's hear it again.
Let's hear one more.
Wow, that's a tough one.
This one is good for, we live by the water, so it would definitely be one that is under the water, though I don't think we have any here.
Whales?
Yes, this is
it's a
orca.
whale.
And yes,
Wow,
orca
good.
whale.
Well, I tell Alexa sleep sounds. I put the whales on, and I am scared to death in the night. It is crazy.
All right, let's try another. Little clue in the background with some drums.
You know, that's so
It sounds like a chimpanzee.
It's a gibbon monkey.
A gibbon
It was a
monkey.
gibbon monkey.
I knew there'd be a monkey in there somewhere.
Yes, we are very good at this game.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
It sounds like my West Highland White Terrier.
Monkey.
I still think it's a bird.
This one is a turkey.
A turkey.
Oh.
Yes. All right, so
What happened
this
to
is
gobble gobble?
I know. We're going to brush up our animal skills. We have one more.
They all sound like birds to me.
This one is a bird. It's a very fancy bird.
A peacock.
Yes, it is a peacock.
Oh my God, I was going to
Do we
say
have one more?
emu.
All right, we have one more.
Well, that's a rhinoceros.
And Matthew nailed it. It is the very rhinoceros sound that is in Oslo Rep's production. And Matthew, we take a look at what the cast looks like when they hear this sound. Yes. All right, so Rhinoceros is at Oslo Rep through April 14th. For tickets, you can go to their website, oslorep.org. Next, we have a renowned landscape photographer who will share his work.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. An update on a man charged in connection to a viral video showing the sexual assault of a child, why he will likely stay behind bars until his trial. And dog flu cases are on the rise in Florida. What pet owners should do to keep their furry friends safe. Let's get a check on the weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, who's live tonight in Venice. Bob?
That's right, we're at the Plantation Community Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic, and boy, what a day it has been out here all across the Suncoast after some clouds and some fog this morning. Those washed away and temperatures are quite nice. Right now, 79 degrees. We have fair skies and the dew point pretty high at 67. Winds are out of the north at 12 and the pressure is still high at 30-17. That front that came down really is washed out right across the top of us, and not much downwind either. We're going to see some fair skies tonight. We'll have the latest on our
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
It's Greek time! February 8th through the 11th at the 34th Annual St. Barbara Greek Festival. Bring your family and friends. Treat yourself to authentic Greek home cooking and pastries. Plus, dance to traditional Greek music. Visit a marketplace filled with crafts and jewelry from local artisans. Children will enjoy the kids' zone and everyone will have a good time. Bring your appetites and spend a day in Greece without leaving the area. The Greek Festival at St. Barbara Greek Orthodox Church just north of University Parkway, where Lockwood and Talevast roads meet. Yasu!
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
Make us fly! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
Living here on the Suncoast, we can all appreciate the beauty of water, but to award-winning waterscape photographer Jason Henthorn, the water holds a special intrigue, and he joins us today to tell us about his work. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you live in St. Pete now, no doubt there's a lot of water inspiration around us in Florida. How did your kind of infatuation with water begin?
It really began with, I like to either be in, on, or around the water. I spend a lot of time scuba diving, a lot of time traveling. And many years ago, I just started shooting not the landscapes, but the waterscapes. And then just kind of grew into the black and white as those travels happened.
You mentioned travel having a lot to do with it, but you don't just focus on water, you focus on the specific intersection of water. Explain that to us.
Well, I think it's this magical place, basically, with this intersection of ocean and earth where these two worlds come together. I mean, that's where you can really experience all five senses there. I mean, you've got the smell, you've got the sound. It's so refreshing, and so that's just kind of my magical place where I like to be and share those experiences with other people in the form of my art. So.
Is there a certain time of day where you feel that the magic is more intense, where you like to shoot?
Absolutely. There's really two magical spots, and they're both around sunrise and sunset, about an hour on either side of those. That's the really premium light that I like to shoot in. Most of the shots are actually taken in that afternoon light or that evening light, right around sunset.
And we hear so many people this week alone have come in and talked about the light in Florida and the magic of the light. What is it about this area? You've traveled the world. What is it about our light that lends itself to that magic?
Part of it's the light, but one of the most magical things here are the clouds. So I've been all over the world to so many places, but this is my home base, and between Sarasota and Tampa has like some of the best clouds in the world, and that's really what provides the drama in these shots, because without it, they're a little less, basically. So a lot of times it's actually about chasing those clouds, and we just have the best white puffies here, and really helps make the shot.
Now, why black and white? Because our colors are vibrant, the blue skies, the clearness of the water, but yet you choose to shoot everything black and white.
It was a choice I made a long time ago. For me, shooting in black and white it's not that it's more challenging, it's more pure, it's minimalistic. These images to start with are about reduction, they're about minimalism, and so taking the color out and it just being in black and white really just kind of keeps going with that.
Wow.
And I think the other thing about black and white that I love so much is that with color, the composition doesn't have to be so perfect to hold the viewer's interest in the artwork. In black and white, the composition has to be really, really great to really engage the viewer and keep them enthralled in this for potentially hours at a time.
Oh, they're just stunning.
Oh,
they take your breath away.
You do a lot of time-lapse work. How long does that all take?
So they're not actually time lapses. It's called a long exposure. So each one of these shots, it's a kind of complicated to explain, but it's just one single shot that takes place over 2 or 3 minutes. So I actually capture cumulative time. So this is a time lapse to give you a sense of, okay, what's happening really real live time. But if you could take that entire 3 minutes that this is up for and compress it into one shot, that's what you have.
So that's where the feeling of the motion comes in.
Yeah, exactly. So in this shot right here, those clouds, they started here, and in 3 minutes they moved from there. And so so it's all done in camera, and that's also why you see the water is really, it's always calm. That's not because it was calm. That's what happens over 2 or 3 minutes of exposure. So the rougher the water is, the whiter that it shows up.
That's
so
fascinating.
I'm usually looking for inclement weather.
So while the rest of us are running in, you're grabbing your gear and running out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's great. Now you have a lot of collections, series of images from locations. How long does it take to put together a true collection?
So I will go out and shoot. It's usually about a month, maybe a month and a half, sometimes even 2 months. So it takes quite a while to go out on the road, whether it's Australia or Indonesia or this coastal Florida series that we're looking at today. So it's several months of shooting, because the one shot that we were looking at right there, it took 6 days to get that shot. Not because I knew exactly, I mean, I pre-visualize exactly how I want this to be, and there's a few things in my control, but there's a few things out of my control. The clouds, the weather, and down in the Keys, it's really interesting. Here, it's so predictable how the clouds are going to come in and back and forth. In the Keys, they could be coming from any direction, so I literally had to wait until I get the shot, and then move on to the next location that's already
fascinating to understand how it's all put together. Yeah, the work is absolutely stunning. You can see more of Henthorn's work, including this coastal Florida collection that we've been showing you, by going to his website. Coming up next, the tasty and weird treats at this year's Florida State Fair. It's that time again.
Zupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins.
Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
It's that time of year again. The Florida State Fair is open and well worth the road trip. Over 100 rides. The farm animals are amazing. Great display of Florida agriculture. And of course the food. Then there's the food. The weirder, the better, and we fry everything here. So this year, the Catfish Sundae is on the menu. Oh, that is just one thing I don't think I need on ice cream. But yeah.
It's delightful. I'm a big Catfish fan.
Oh, well, there you go. If you'd like it with some caramel sauce and ice cream, we got that going on. Now, this one I could actually get into. This is chicken waffle pizza. Okay, we got a little maple syrup, we got some bacon, we got some fried chicken, and we've got it all on a pizza crust.
Well,
so
that sounds delightful.
that does sound delightful, the pizza, for sure. The Florida State Fair is the first fair in the country every year, so this kicks off the season for everybody, and it is going on just off I-75 and I-4 through February 19th. Trust me, you never know what you're going to see there. But we know what we're going to see this weekend, and it's great Greek food and culture. We're going to join Popey from Popey's Place in the kitchen.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
It's time to take a road trip. Alabama's got 100 road trips. And if you love the sun, you're gonna love Mobile, where Mardi Gras is king, and the accommodations will make you feel like royalty. You can take a little drive, explore Dauphin Island, or explore the past. We're talking the USS Alabama. Check out these big guns. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel. Which one you gonna take?
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. We are heading straight to Bob Harrigan in a few seconds, but a big announcement from Moat Marine today. The details on the $100 million facility coming to Benderson Park. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Bob from Plantation Golf and Country Club.
Thanks, Jacqueline. I tell you what, yeah, beautiful day out here at the Plantation Golf and Country Club here at the Plantation Community Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic. They've raised $140,000 last year for over 40 charities here along South Sarasota County, and you couldn't ask for better weather. Right now, it's warm, actually, 79 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, too, after kind of a foggy and cloudy start. The dew point's at 67. Winds are out of the north at 12, and the pressure is way up there at 30-17, and that continues to rise right now. So things looking good on that front. We had a hole-in-one out here, too, during the tournament. We'll talk more about that and whoever hit it in and the car they're going to be able to drive for 2 years.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you.
Coming up Friday at 4 on Suncoast View, big changes are on the way for a favorite Suncoast destination. Mote Marine tells us all about their new aquarium and what it means for the future of the Suncoast Marine Laboratory. We'll try our hand at handmade chocolates with Peterbrook Chocolates to get ready for Valentine's Day. Plus getting the perfect curls with Cutting Loose Salon, and Cafe Barboso joins us in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We're here with Popey from Popey's Place. Now, what are we making? I know it's Greek food, so can I? Oh, I like that. Oh,
honey pop.
Okay, and after we do it, can I break some plates?
Of course.
Okay, great.
Throw some napkins.
Yes.
Have a party.
You come to the festival and do everything you
Oh, I love it.
All right, so how do we get started?
Let's do it.
Okay. So if you like to do the dough,
okay, we're
I
gonna
have the dough ready here.
No, that's okay. We want to watch them make the dough first.
And
What is this?
And this is the syrup.
Okay, don't put syrup.
So
And a
just
little
put the
more,
ingredients.
yes, you put the ingredients, salt, sugar.
Sugar, salt.
Yeast.
That's a little
Yeast. Ooh.
yeast. Oh, yeah, careful with
Okay.
that.
Now, what about this?
Oh, no.
That's
in
the
end,
end,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
end.
Okay.
And put little water.
How much is
Supposed
a
to be
little?
warm.
Yeah,
half
when
a
it's
cup,
enough.
Half a cup.
No, more than that.
Little more.
Is that it?
Yes.
More?
That's enough.
Okay.
Stop.
So we do
Give it a stir.
Stir.
Okay, I can stir.
Okay.
Not much else, but I can stir. Okay. What's next?
Next, you put them in the flour.
Is it ready? It's still got
Yes,
little bumps in
that's
there.
Okay, that's fine. No
Okay.
problem. You
Pour
put
that
them in
into
the
the flour,
middle.
look
Yes.
at
Oh, in the middle.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all right. Leave it stay for 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, without stirring?
Not stirring?
Not
Oh,
stirring.
okay.
And the
I
flour.
love Popey is so loving and relaxed in the kitchen. I want to just spend the time in there with you.
Me too.
And then you put your oil.
Okay, in the middle
Yeah.
too?
Yes.
Although I
Just
did miss
put
the
the
middle.
oil. That's all right. That's fine. Then you make the dough, put the rest of the water and make the dough. That's very simple. And
Yeah, you can
know.
say it's
in a
very
minute.
simple.
So I have a question because I know
Yes.
we're speeding things
That's
up.
enough, yes.
Do you have to let
Right.
this rise
Yeah,
because
you
it's
leave it
yeast?
for a couple hours.
Okay,
yes.
and it'll rise. How many
Yes.
Should I
rises?
stir it before?
Yeah, you have to make the dough.
You would now you'd make the dough out of it.
Yes.
So how many
And you-
rises does it have?
2 times.
You rise it
let
twice?
Twice, yes.
Okay, well,
So you already have some dough made.
Yes, I have. Yes.
So let's go to your
all right,
dough.
we'll skip ahead to the finished dough since we don't
Right,
have the
yes.
luxury to let it rise.
And now I'm going to show you the way you make it.
Okay, and I
Yes.
think we're going to get
And
Matt
the church,
involved
we have
here.
a special machine because we do a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But
Well, Matt is
that's
our
all-
special machine.
So,
All right.
Here we go. I'm excited.
If he can play a rhinoceros, he can do this.
I can do anything.
Exactly.
I'm going to.
Okay.
You
let's
can
do
wear
it.
no gloves here. but-
No.
Oh, because
Who
it'll
needs
stick.
them?
Right. Oh, look at that. She has a trick.
Oh.
Oh,
And
wow.
you do so many of these, don't
Yes, a lot.
So you squeeze it by the hand. Oh, cool. And then it turns into a little donut ball.
Popey, you own so many restaurants and yet you still do the cooking.
Yes,
I'm surprised.
I enjoy that.
Now,
this is my enjoyment.
in the restaurants, do you do this with the machine or just for
no,
the festival?
just for the festival.
Okay, so the festival gets a machine because you're going to use so many of
A
these.
lot.
Do you have any idea how many of the locomades you make for the festival?
I can tell you, last year, just bags of flour, 50 bags of flour. We made
50?
the 10 bags of flour. It's a lot.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yes.
And then trays of dolmades.
Dolmades,
Spanakopita.
spanakopita, tiropita.
And the ladies in the church have been making these for how long?
For many, many, many years. We're all working together. It's fun and we enjoy it.
I would think that the making of all the food is almost as fun as the festival itself for all of you.
That's the idea. We
It's
all
made with
enjoy
love.
it. Yes.
And that's why it tastes so good.
Absolutely.
These are
great cooks, though. Joey's going right into the final product. So how long do they cook in the oil?
Till they get nice and brown.
Till they get brown. Okay, well, they are well on their way. These are the Lokomades Greek donuts. This is just one of the many foods you will find coming up the Greek Glendy Festival, the St. Barbara's Greek Festival. Go ahead and bring those in, Joey, because you're going to eat them all if you don't. The festival is through February 11th. It is this weekend. The ladies of the church have been cooking for weeks to get ready, so you are going to want to go enjoy all the amazing food. We are eyeing the dessert trays. This is where we are starting, Popey. We are going straight to that. All right, Matt, you worked hard.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Share the wealth down there with everybody. Popey, thank you so much. We can't wait to see you at the festival.
Greek, everybody.
That's right. Everybody's Greek this weekend. One of the hardest workers I know. We love to eat our food.
Thank you.
Matt, thanks for joining us. I won't make you talk with your mouth full. Take some time and enjoy the Suncoast view.